United turned down Hermoso. The opportunity has gone. They have passed. So what is the plan from there? Again, I have tried to stay away from Frenkie de Jong rumours at Manchester United, but it keeps on coming up. Let's talk about what's happening and where this report of Manchester United having a £42 million bid rejected for Frenkie de Jong has come from. Update on Fofana's situation as well, where Victor Lindelof is going. Manchester United's medicals that are going on as we speak with Ligt and Mazraoui. Updates on absolutely everything. What's happening with Manuel Ugarte, how Manchester United are setting up Sander Berge. There is all sorts to talk about this morning, guys. Information on the exact prices of everything that Manchester United have done so far. And we'll judge between ourselves within the live chat today on whether United have done good business financially as well. So I want to bring you guys involved into this chat as well in the show today. It's our lunchtime live show, updating you on everything with Manchester United. We're live 3 times a day. Don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing regarding Manchester United. News, updates, match days, everything. We got you covered, guys. Please give the video a like. Let's get up to another 1,000 likes again if we can on this show. I know you guys have been smashing it recently and you can do it again. Thank you, everybody. That is your challenge for the day. Let's get into everything that's happening with Manchester United. Where do we start? Well, I think with us talking about Hermoso this morning and it looking like he was favouring a move to Manchester United. We're getting reports from the Daily Mail. We're getting reports from European outlets as well regarding Hermoso. Obviously, we've spoken about it a couple of days ago and for a few days now regarding Hermoso being a free agent at available to Manchester United. Another centre-back option who can obviously play on the left-hand side as well. But apparently, according to reports now, Manchester United have turned down the opportunity to go in for Hermoso. But it doesn't mean that they are thinking about Victor Lindelof as well. It is imperative, according to reports, that Manchester United let Victor Lindelof go. Why is that? Is it because we're going to put a bigger bid in for someone else? You know who I'm talking about. We're going to bring him into the conversation in a minute. But Hermoso, let's just get through that quickly on what's actually happening. We heard about a Saudi bid going in this morning. Hermoso wants to stay in Europe. He wants to play football in one of the top European leagues. He's changed his agency to make sure that he can get the right deal for him. And it's all gone a little bit... It's got a bit cold, and United have pulled out of the option to sign the free agents. No bigger, no problem. Like I said at the time, I would have loved to have seen him play because I don't know if he's any good. I've not watched him play. I said that from the start, that it was one of them. Look, if you're playing for Simeone and you're playing constantly like he was last season, then you've obviously got something about you, and United need cover. I couldn't say if he was better than Lindelof because, like I said, I've not watched him play that much, but still, he was a free agent. United have lost nothing. We move on to next targets. How are we going to bring another defender in? That's the question, really. We talked this morning about having, what, was it 6 defenders if Hermoso came in? Right now we've got Martinez, De Jong, and you've got Yoro, and you've got Maguire, and you've got Evans. That's 5. And that's when we sell Lindelof as well. He's not left yet. So we've got 5 centre-backs. Surely it's enough. We said it was enough with 6. And Maguire was going down to 5th choice if Hermoso came in. So maybe United have looked at it and gone, can we put this wage elsewhere? If we're saving money from Lindelof and the 120 grand a week and he has to go, and we're going to get a little fee in for him, maybe we should save that wage for someone else. And you all know where I'm going and where I'm veering to with someone who does take big wages. Maybe they're finding the money for Bruno. But I know you're all smart enough to know exactly where I'm going with this conversation in terms of what we might be saving money for. Look, the story is out there. The story is there for everybody to see. I've tried to avoid it because I just don't believe in it. I don't personally know, but I can only read what's there, and I think it's fair to you guys that we talk about Frenkie bleeding de Jong. It's like that. It's just like that illness that just won't go away. That probably sounds a bit disrespectful, that to be honest, a bit harsh, doesn't it? But, you know, it's just there, isn't it, lingering around. It's like that fly in your house that you just go down every morning, you think it's gone the day before, and there he is, buzzing around again, still there, mithering you, pestering you. Look, there's a report coming out, and it's come from Nacional, which is the Spanish publication, of course, if you didn't already know. Barcelona have rejected an offer worth $42.9 million from Manchester United for Frenkie de Jong. It's according to reports from the Spanish publication Nacional on the former Ajax midfielder. United pulled out all stops to try and sign de Jong 27 in 2022, shortly after Erik ten Hag was appointed as their manager. However, the Netherlands international stayed at the Camp Nou instead. His name has constantly been has constantly been doing the rounds as a potential return target since then, leading to the development. However, there are ongoing concerns about whether or not Barcelona will sell the player during this summer transfer window. But Barcelona would only sell if it meant if it meant that they had someone else coming in. Have they got another big target? Well, we know that they've just signed Dani Olmo. So that signing's gone in from RB Leipzig, so that's done for them. So now you're looking at where Barcelona are at. Honestly, this is where it is, and this is why we need to have the conversation, because, like you said there, look at the transfer fee. 43 million, 27-year-old. He's a class player, don't get me wrong. I put Frenkie de Jong in the Bale category, me. Brilliant player, but had your chance. He's in there with Griezmann, Bale, all of these types of players for me. He's just literally every single summer. I just wish he would either sign or just go and sign somewhere else, so we know that we're never going to hear about it again. But 2 years on from that original contract, his contract is running down. I tell you what, let's get up the information on Frenkie de Jong now and just see where he's at contractually and everything like that with Barcelona for you guys. So, Frenkie de Jong, as it stands, is contracted for another 2 years to Barcelona. So he's in that category, isn't it? He's in that area now where you're like, right, make a decision. It's either a decent price now or he goes into next summer and it's cut down price and we lose out. Where are Barcelona at in terms of what they need? That's the question, like we've just said. Market valuation for him right now is about 70 million euros. But yes, so Frenkie de Jong, 27, just turned 27. So 4-year contract, 5-year contract, taking him to 32. Would you be happy with that? Is that worth the investment? If it's 42 alone, then maybe it's all right. Maybe it's actually a good deal. I don't know. I'm only looking at the financial side of it there. Like I said, like the reasons behind me thinking that I'm just sick of Frenkie de Jong and this whole deal is the sagas that we've had with him. It's just one of them pain in the ass situations that just doesn't seem to go away. And I'm at that. You know where I'm at. It's like hard for me to explain exactly how I feel about Frenkie, but it's a good player, a very, very good player that Manchester United tried to get 2 years ago. Were embarrassed by Barcelona. United and the old regime were completely, I won't say taken to the cleaners or anything like that, but they were made a mockery of, I think, Manchester United, when we went in for Frenkie de Jong. So I'll come to you guys in a minute and just see what you're thinking of this. But yeah, apparently 43 million was the bid that's been turned down. Why are United in for him? If United are in for Frenkie de Jong, you can forget about Manuel Ugarte. Personally, I think you can. It's a different approach from Manchester United, a different type of player. Now, Frenkie can play in a number 6. He's a different type of number 6. Maybe with Casemiro being there as a different option. It's in so many ways it doesn't work for me in how he fits into Manchester United's team. And then that sounds ludicrous because he is a world-class player. He really is a class player, and Manchester United just need to be in the market for deals like this, but it just doesn't work. There's something inside us, I think, Manchester United fans, when something like this comes around, you just get them flashbacks, don't you, like I have straight away, to the likes of Griezmann, to Gareth Bale. Like, they were there, they were ready to go, ready to come to United apparently. The deals were all lined up. Bang, never came. And then another rumour the following year, and another rumour after that, and it just never materialised. So, that's why I don't want Frenkie de Jong. I've put a poll up, guys, simple one. Frenkie de Jong, take him at United? Question mark. 54% of you are actually saying yes. So I think it's about time we went into the chat to see what you guys are saying regarding this. I don't want anyone who doesn't respect our club, says Babs. He turned us down before, so no thanks, says Gambit Footballer. Frenkie de Jong, he who shall not be named, says Cuban. He is a fantastic little player, but injury prone and expensive wages. Yeah, the wages do come into it, and they do play a big factor in it. I think INEOS would obviously make sure that they were safeguarded regarding the wages. He's not going to come in on Brewster's. The reported 600,000 euros that he's on at Barcelona is the biggest contract in La Liga history. It's when you consider the players that have been in La Liga and played in La Liga. I didn't believe that stat when it came up the other day. But then again, times have moved on, and the Messis and Ronaldos have probably moved on when Frenkie was just coming in to Barcelona. That is ludicrous. That stat alone is just mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. It's scary, in fact. That with the calibre of player in La Liga that we've seen over the years and decades, that is the most expensive contract in the history of Spanish football. That's crazy. But 600 grand a week will do that, won't it? It's a lot of money. We have 1,200 people in the room, guys. Please give the video a like. 1,200 for only 167 likes. That's pretty poor. We need to bump them likes up, guys. Come on, plenty in the room. Everyone, please give the video a like. Thank you again for joining us on the show. Loving the amount of people getting involved in the moment. It's fantastic. Won't have been a transfer situation. Will have been a summer-long booze up for Murto and Arnold. Probably right, mate. Yeah, like useless. Take advantage. That's probably what INEOS have actually clamped down on right now. Like staff members actually taking advantage of Manchester United and the Glazers actually not having a clue who's actually running the football club. As long as they make money, they didn't care. Mr. C says he never said no to us, just wanted what was owed by Barca. If his wages are reasonable, then I'd take him. But if he's wanting over 300k, then get lost, in my opinion. Is he willing to take a pay cut? Like, is he willing to take a 50% pay cut? Like, that's a lot, and that's still a lot for United to be forking out at that. So, yeah, I would say, in terms of Frenkie de Jong, what have we got in this team right now? Like, Bruno plays further up. Mainu, I don't want his progression being disrupted. I just look at the deal, and I just go, I just don't see why Manchester United would do it now at this stage. I don't understand it, and I think we just need to stay clear of it. And personally, for me, like I said, for all the reasons I've said, some of them I can't even explain, but it's just one of them players that has been linked with United for so long, and if you really wanted United, you'd have come when the opportunity was there. And I just think it's a mess that we don't need. I don't. So where this report has come from and why it's come out today, like 43 million bid rejected, I just don't see it. The bigger news for me, and I just look at it from what we're dealing with and where United are at now, is if Man United turning down Hermoso, like, we don't need another defender. I think that's bigger than what Frenkie de Jong is. I'm just passing the de Jong story aside and going, do you know what? I said it before, like, now that when Agate was off the table, I thought, you know what, maybe we'll see Ten Hag getting tempted into going back in again for Frenkie de Jong. No, it just doesn't work, and I just don't see it happening. I don't. But you never know. This transfer window has surprised us all the way. Like this morning, I was talking about Hermoso coming in. This lunchtime, I'm talking about United saying no. So, yeah, updated on the Ligt and Mazraoui situation, guys. We've seen the flights. We'll just keep giving you the updates as they come along. They are both currently well into their medicals right now, so everything is going according to plan. We should expect to hear we go later on this evening. If not, probably tomorrow morning. I'll expect Romano or Ornstein or someone to come out later today after this lunchtime and pretty much tell us exactly where we're at with these deals. So, yeah, I personally, from what I've read, I don't see any issues now. Everything is moving forward, and we will have two players, 100%. Romano has also said this. Manchester United will have Mazraoui and De Ligt available for the game against Fulham this weekend. So, good business by United. 4 players in before the season started. Well done, considering what's happening right now. Let's see some more of your comments. Can't register Olmo. Is that true? I've not even read into that, actually. If someone could let me know more on that one. There are issues with Barcelona. They've had this problem before in sort of registering players because they need to offload other players first. It's weird in La Liga, isn't it? Like, we thought the Premier League was complicated, but very weird. We have a couple of super chats. Mark Lambridge, who has been a member for 7 months, has just renewed his membership. Thank you, Mark. If Erik ten Hag wasn't our manager, we would all want Frenkie. He is one of the best in the world in his position, but he is fast becoming our new Schneider. Mainu would learn a lot from a player like him. Not saying he wouldn't, mate. Honestly, I'm not even going to take away from Frenkie de Jong his quality. He is quality. I know that. I've seen it up close. He is a brilliant player, an absolutely fantastic player. But I just feel like everything that United are doing and the way they're approaching this window, I think it would just mess things up. Do you know what I mean by that? I think it's like that big Galactico player. That's how I picture Frenkie de Jong now. Do we want him? Macmillan YouTube is in with a super chat. Cheers for that, buddy. Frenkie de Jong's salary is 250 per week, only on 600 due to deferred wages due to COVID. Still a lot, mate. And he's still the biggest deal in La Liga, so there has to be some truth in that. We'll see. Like, if Frenkie de Jong wants 200 grand a week and United can agree a deal for 43 million, I'll take him. I just don't see it happening. I'm just being honest. MUFC 87 there says, why not just go for Fofana? Leading me straight into the next question. Next topic, actually. Yusuf Fofana is reportedly ready to reject a potential offer from Manchester United as the Monaco midfielder wants to move to AC Milan. La Gazzetta dello Sport reports that Fofana has already turned down the chance to sign for West Ham United. The French international is said to be someone United sounded out despite wanting Manuel Ugarte. Fofana is in the last 12 months of his contract with Ligue 1 club and does not intend to sign a new deal. Milan are seemingly offered 17 million, but Monaco are believed to want 30 and have not ruled out keeping the player. So, in terms of Fofana, he was one of them players that I was talking about the other day that United have just got hanging around in the back just in case we don't get Ugarte. Conversations and negotiations are ongoing with PSG for Manuel Ugarte. We know this. This is happening, and we know that Manchester United top target is Ugarte. I said the other day, like, where United are actually at right now in terms of the players that are on the sidelines waiting, they're going to want to know soon, and United will have to make a decision very, very soon regarding walking away from Ugarte and going to another one of these targets, because they'll want to know, with their seasons all starting, respective seasons and across Europe, I mean by that, starting soon, where they're going to be playing. So Fofana, I think, he's probably third choice right now. Ugarte, I would say Zander Berger is ahead of him, and then it's Fofana. He's probably in a position now where, like, you know what? Yeah, it's good that United are interested, but I want to get sorted. I want to go to AC Milan. I'm not going to wait around any longer. And it looks like he is pulling the plug on any sort of link with Manchester United right now. So, yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised that we're in this situation. I'm not surprised that Fofana is walking away. We're at that stage, like, coming to the end. Big decisions are going to be needed by Manchester United. We were talking this morning about that recruitment meeting at the football club and where we go from here. From that meeting, sort of regarding Hermoso, we got a no straight away today. That's not happening. So it's like every time we have these, I love these meetings, by the way. Every time we get a reported recruitment meeting at United, something big happens that week. And bang, instantly, we usually get news or an update on something. And today, it was Hermoso not coming. Like, there was an option for United, a realistic option. There was reportedly offers on the table. He didn't want too much in wages, less than 100 grand. With Lindelof being on 120, we were talking before about that actually looking like an alright deal for United. Cover at left back as well, and centre back, but United have moved away from it. And then looking past that, the meeting came in, bang, straight away. United not interested. They've let that one go by. They want to look at other areas. And I said, like, the only thing I can see here is that wage, 96 grand or whatever he wanted, that can go elsewhere. Maybe they were looking at Frenkie de Jong. Maybe that wages could go towards Manuel Ugarte into selling Lindelof. Now we've got Mazraoui and we've got Ligt through the door, and they're going to be announced today. Maybe we will see movement regarding Ugarte. Lindelof out, more money in for Manchester United. I did think, like, look, we were reportedly at 30 million for Ligt. That's gone up to 38. So where's that other money come from? Has that come out of the Ugarte funds? Maybe selling Lindelof will give us that money back to go back in for Ugarte and get that done that way. But it has been said from this meeting as well that the sale of Victor Lindelof now is imperative. Like, we need to sell him. He has to go. So, interest from all over the place for Victor Lindelof. Like, with Saudi interest, Italy, we've had quite a lot. And it's going to be interesting now to see where he decides to go. Because all United want is him out of the door. So, depending on it will depend on how much we get off where he goes, really. If he goes to Saudi, then I think United could actually get a decent price, like more towards the 9-10 million mark. Anywhere else, like, we know there's not a lot of money in Italy, so that's going to be more down towards the sort of 67 million mark. Is that enough to put towards Manuel Ugarte and get that deal over the line? We don't know. We talked earlier on today about Desiree Doué being signed by PSG, and that may be taking the opportunity to sell Jadon Sancho away. We don't know. If Sancho stays, then that would have been a big chunk of change for United if Jadon Sancho was sold. We're talking between 30 and 40, and that would have pretty much got United another forward. But the ever-changing transfer window as it is at the moment is that we're not probably going to end up selling Jadon Sancho now. Unless something miraculous happens in this last 2 weeks, I would put my money on him still being part of Manchester United because nobody wants him. He just doesn't look like a player that gives a shit. I said it this morning. Like, the way he moves around the pitch in a United shirt, we are never going to be able to sell him. He's a different player when he's at Dortmund. He looked like he was up for everything. But as soon as he puts that red shirt on, he turns into a different animal. He turns into Jekyll, doesn't he, from Hyde? Instantly, as soon as that red shirt goes on. I don't know what it is with him. If he's not first choice, he sees his arse, doesn't he? And he's going to see his arse quite a lot this season because he isn't first choice. Ten Hag has clearly got other players ahead of him. So, yeah, problems there. I think I'll come into the chat as well now, guys. Midfielder-wise, I think this is where this meeting is going to have actually been focused on. Hopefully, before the Fulham game, we'll have some more. Updates on the midfield area. But Fofana moving away, that's another player dropping off the list. The list is becoming smaller, as you'd expect towards the end of the window. And anyone else popping in now, you kind of think, is that just a desperate left field option for United rather than someone who we've really recruited and scouted this summer? I mean, how long is that list? We've talked about, buddy, 7 or 8 different midfielders this summer. And anyone else popping into that list that we didn't know about now, I don't know. Like, we're not supposed to know what United's list is. But the obvious ones are there and everybody knows who we're bidding for. Everyone else, unless it's Ugarte now, you're going to be looking at this as going second option, aren't you? Naturally. Leave Ugarte, get Berger, and then save cash for Wharton and Palmer next summer. Palmer will most likely want to chuck Chelsea in because of this news with Felix is coming in. Palmer is a United fan. Yeah, I would take Cole Palmer any day of the week and on Sundays as well. Please give the video a like, guys. Over 300 likes. We've got 1,500 in the room. I think there's something wrong there with the sort of demographic there. Like, come on. Like, I think we deserve more likes for having 1,500 in here. Thank you again, everybody, for joining. Make sure you have hit that subscribe button as well, guys. Make sure that you are fully up to date with Manchester United content. That's what we do here. Let's get... why no Hermoso? You just turned away the deal, Derek. That's all that's happened. We don't have hardly no ballers, but Ahmad and Sancho, and people want Sancho. Mate, it's not his quality, Andrew. It's the guy doesn't want to freaking be here. It's clear as day. It doesn't fit at United. He can be the right player all day long and have all the skills under the sun, but if he doesn't fit in with the manager's plan, just get rid of him. Look, if Ten Hag is here, I don't see Sancho surviving at United. He is going to be a forgotten man. We need to sell him. He needs to be gone. If INEOS are backing Ten Hag, then Sancho needs to go. Simple as that for me. Edison was Ashworth's #1 target for midfield this summer for Newcastle, so he rates him highly, and so do I. Everybody rates him, Mark. It's just, I think United are in on Ugarte. I'd love for Edison to come in. I'd love, like, Andre is another good player that we've been linked with. There's plenty of midfielders out there for United. This week, I think, is going to be really important for all the midfielders. I think it's going to be one of them weeks where we get definite no's, yeses and no's. Like, we knew the Hermoso one was coming. We knew that Hermoso was going to be a yes or a no this week. It is officially a no. We're not going in for him. But, yeah, I do feel like United are in a position where they can say yes and no to certain players right now, because we've got 4 in, and I think we've got Amrabat waiting in the wings for midfield as an emergency. I do feel like they are comfortable in what the situation is at the moment, United. I think we are in a position where we can go to a couple of players and they will definitely say yes if we don't manage to negotiate another player. That being Agate, and I think the likes of Zanderberger and Amrabat are ready to go, and they will come into United straight away. Scott McTominay, that's one that we need to watch this week as well, and what happens there. And again, that recruitment meeting we'll be talking about, Scott. Great tweet from Fabrizio Romano earlier on as well, guys, regarding Manchester United's actual prices for the players that we've brought in. Lenny Yoro was 42.8 million guaranteed, with 10 million in add-ons, taking him to 53 max. Xerxes was 36.4 million. That's it, guaranteed, nothing else. Matthias de Ligt is 38.5, as we discussed yesterday, with 4.2 in add-ons, maxing out at 42.7. Mazraoui, 12.8 million guaranteed fee, with 42 in add-ons, taking him to max 17 million. And that really is good business. It's very, very good business for Manchester United, I think. And I look at what people are saying, like some people have actually been trying to say that Manchester United have overpaid for certain players this summer. I don't see it. I think all of the deals have been bang on the money. I do. I think we've got the best out of everything that we possibly can in this window. So I'm happy with it. 1,500 in the room. Cheers, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you have subscribed and liked the video. Let's get into the chat some more. Time for you guys to have your say now. Get into the chat. Mark N says, what if Ten Hag rates Sancho, actually forgave him and wants him to stay? Would that justify him staying? Only if he plays him, mate. It's the same thing, isn't it? Like, you look at players that were on the bench for Manchester United in that Charity Shield. What did we have there? We had Xerxes, we had Anthony, we had Ericsson, we had Sancho, we had Palestre. Who else there in midfield that came on? Like, there's so many forward players, and you've got Rasmus Højlund still to come on. Like, Garnacho was on the bench. You had Ahmad, you had Rashford, and you had Bruno playing the false nine with Mount behind him. There's so many players ahead of him. Someone has to go. Even if you sold Palestre, there's still no room for Sancho. Look, I'm not saying that Ten Hag hasn't made up with Jadon Sancho and wants to keep him. My issue is, I look at Jadon Sancho, he's just got through to a Champions League final. He's seen his career start up again at Dortmund, and then he's going to go back to third and fourth choice for Manchester United. I don't see a player at his age, at the stage of his career, wanting to stay and be happy with that and not kicking up a stink about it. Because I guarantee Bleeding Anthony will start ahead of him as well with Ten Hag. You know what's coming. I think Sancho has made up a little bit, or decided just to like say, look, let's just draw a line under it with Ten Hag. I think that has genuinely happened. But I don't see Sancho wanting to hang around when he knows he's not going to play, because I really don't think he will. I don't. And United would be actively open to bring another forward in if he goes. So that tells you everything, in my opinion. I'm not saying, look, it's false news regarding him making up with Ten Hag. It's happened. Like, I know it has. Like the situation last season is night and day to where it is now. Like, they've actually been seen talking on the training ground. Communication is there. It's like, look, let's just be amicable and let's get on with our jobs. That's where Ten Hag and Sancho are at. But I guarantee you, in the mind of our manager, he isn't thinking of starting Jadon Sancho against Fulham. And you go from playing against Real Madrid in the Champions League final and being loved by a football club like Dortmund to coming back to United and getting nowhere near that starting lineup. There's the difference right there. That's the problem that he's going to have, Jadon Sancho. And then Ten Hag will have a problem in trying to manage that. Really, INEOS need to step in and find a solution for Jadon Sancho right now. I've seen enough of Sancho. He ain't good enough for the Prem. Get rid for free if needs be. That's a bit too much, mate, Domingo. And let both club and player move on. We're never going to get rid of Sancho for free. Tell the Saudis they can have Sancho for 10 million and we give them a 2-for-1, including Casemiro, for free. John, makes no football sense. I think you're just trying to get rid of players that you really don't like there, buddy. We'd have thought both Sancho and Casemiro were leaving this summer. Would be absolute 180 transfer window turnaround, wouldn't it, if both of them players ended up staying at Manchester United and playing a part this season. No one would have banked on that. No one would have put any bet on that. Director of football, true. This club hates technical footballers. We like athletes. I don't know. I don't think we're the fittest team in this league. I really don't think we are the fittest team in this league. I think our fitness is behind quite a lot. There's many games where United just deteriorate towards the back end of every single game. Like, I've seen it visibly in the games last season, sat there watching, and the team just absolutely just falls off completely at a certain time. You cannot, honestly, you won't be able to figure it out. It's crazy. Like, you'd have thought, like, the amount of preparation, the amount of training that goes in with these players, that you would get a 90 minutes out of them. But this is the demands of football. But if you're rotating and you're using your 5 substitutes properly, then you can easily get through 90 minutes constantly every single week. 2 times a week, in fact. We've got a big enough squad now to handle this fixture pile-up that's coming our way. Guys, we've signed 4 players and the season hasn't even started yet. Let that sink in. Yes, let that sink in, Mr. C. That's exactly right. We have done well so far, and we have got rid of some deadwood as well. If Lindelof goes, then we're moving right in the right direction. Like, look, even if Scott ends up staying, I think the writing is on the wall. But, yeah, I feel like Scott will still go. I just got a feeling that Scott will end up being sold by United, and we move forward and trying to put that into Agate. I feel like Romano said, like, Scott McTominay being sold is important for Manchester United going for Agate. I can see United selling Scott and Victor to try and fund Agate and getting that over the line. I think that's where we're at right now, personally. My ballers I like is Zubimendi and Barella. Good players. I think Zanderberg will end up being underrated signing like Carrick, who I never rated that much. Carrick was a fantastic player. Zanderberg will be a good player for Manchester United. He will be a great squad player for Manchester United. It's just, again, the price. You don't want to be spending over the top for a squad player, do you? And he's getting the right deals in place. Like, automatically you think that Zanderberg is going to be an easier signing than Manuel Agate. Yeah, he is, but still, there's different categories. Agate is being brought in to be a first-team player. Zanderberg, I don't think is going to be an out-and-out first-team player. And some would argue that Agate is in the same category again, but still, you know what I'm saying with it, don't you? People were asking me before, actually, regarding why are we trying to replace Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Why are we not looking at left-back as well as right-back? Look, we've got 2 right-backs now in Mazraoui and Dalot who can both play left-back as comfortable as they can on right. Malacia coming back in October. I've given up on Shaw. I'm not even counting him anymore. And you've got Amas in the wings. Manchester United have got no intention of... this came out from Luckhurst earlier on. Manchester United have no intention of loaning out Toby Collier or Harry Amas. They are both first-team players now, officially first-team players within the squad, and will not be loaned out. They will be there available for Manchester United on match days this season. So there are 2 more. They've got a midfielder there and another left-back there as well as extra cover when needed. So, yeah, let's look at it that way and go, we have got cover at left-back, we have got cover at right-back, and we've got plenty of cover at centre-back now. Let's get this midfielder over the line. Is anyone taking Amrabat back, by the way? Is anyone going in on Amrabat? The poll is coming in very close. Like, to the top of the show, if anyone who's just joining us now, there is a report going around that United have had a £43 million bid rejected for Frenkie de Jong by Barcelona. How serious this is, I don't know. It's come from the Spanish publication Nacional, and they're saying that Manchester United have bid for Frenkie de Jong 2 years after failing to get him over the line in Ten Hag's first pre-season, but now looking to bring Frenkie de Jong to Manchester United. Do not see it happening personally, but guys, let me know. We have a poll running right now. Would you take Frenkie de Jong? Yes or no? We have had 1,700 votes on this poll, and 52% of you have said yes, you would take Frenkie de Jong. 48 no. Very, very close. And I think the question there is like quality over problem. It's like, you know, the player's quality. Is it a problem bringing him in? His wage structure, things like that. Injury record, again, is questionable. Is he better than what we've got? Of course he is. Of course he is. He is an absolute baller of a player. And you cannot argue that. It's just if the move is right for United. He's 27 now, just turned 27 a couple of months ago. So another 3 years before he hits that 30 mark. Is there still life in the legs of Frenkie de Jong? Of course there is. He is an absolute world-class player on his day. And he is an upgrade for Manchester United. If we got him in at 200 grand a week for 43 million, it may have to be more. And look, this is what I'm looking at. When you look at the news that Manchester United have turned down Hermoso, when you look at the news that's come out today with Victor Lindelof being massively important for Manchester United going forward, he has to be sold. He has to be sold this window. There are reports coming out of this so-called recruitment meeting today. So no to Hermoso. We don't want to put any more wages on him. And then you get rid of Victor Lindelof, 6 to 9 million plus 120 grand a week wages off the wage bill. Is that not going towards something? I think that's going towards the midfielder now, because defensively we are solid. We are covered at the back. I just feel like there's something happening in midfield. And whereas I said I wouldn't do the Frenkie de Jong deal, I would go for other targets. I feel like something is bubbling within the midfield area for United in this window, and something is about to happen. It's just that feeling I get. Like, United seem to be saving a lot of money. For instance, if you got rid of Scott McTominay, 25 million, Victor Lindelof, 6 million, taking that up to what, 31 million. Managed to scrape together 15 to 20 million maybe for Pellistri and Hannibal. You're talking near enough 50 million right there. That's Frenkie de Jong. And all the wages covered. You can't ignore what's in front of you and the obvious. And you know what? This is just a feeling I get that something is happening. If United sell all of them players, then you can bring a midfielder in. If United sell all of them players, you can get Frenkie de Jong and Amrabat back. Let that sink in as well. The possibilities are there for United, and I'm sure that recruitment team will be crunching numbers, doing the sums, looking at the possibilities. Look, we can definitely get rid of Pellistri. We can definitely get rid of Hamad. Lindelof is not there. We can do a deal right now with Fulham and get enough money in for Scott to put towards getting another midfielder in at Manchester United, or two even. This is the situation we're in now. And then if you get all of that done, which is still a bit of a job, getting rid of 4 more players and then bringing in another 2 midfielders, which I think we can do, you've got Jadon Sancho left from that being an absolute 10 out of 10. Did I say get rid of Ahmad? Did I say get rid of Ahmad by accident? Kaza just said I did. No, we're not getting rid of Ahmad. I said Pellistri. Sorry. Ahmad, legend, mate. Stay, please stay. Great player. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so my reckoning was Lindelof, Hannibal, Pellistri, and McTominay. You sell them with what we've got still available, money-wise. I think you can buy 2 midfielders with that. But I'm talking quality midfielders. You could afford Frenkie de Jong and Amrabat for that. You could. With the prices that are out there right now, you could get that deal done if you wanted to. You could easily get Agate and Amrabat. That's 2 of the same player. Do we want that? Frenkie gives you more options, more quality ball player, an absolute runner of the game. I tell you right now, if Erik ten Hag sat at that recruitment meeting this morning and they said to him, Ashworth, Wilcox, Vival, Barada, whoever was there in that meeting, and he said, look, Frenkie's on the table. Do we want Agate or Frenkie de Jong with what we've already got at the club right now? And by that I mean, look, you've got Collier, you've got Casemiro. You could always have them as 6s where needed. Frenkie can drop into 6 as well. If you want, which midfielder would you want? He picks Frenkie de Jong every single day of the week. And twice on Sunday. I guarantee it. Erik ten Hag would go for Frenkie de Jong. Because he wants players that know his system. Look, Sky have just come out with a comment like the big plus for and big push for Mazraoui was simply because it's a player that knows how Ten Hag wants to work. De Ligt knows how Ten Hag wants to work. Martinez knows. If you get a midfielder in front of that defence, and then Ten Hag's whole speech about controlling the game and dominating teams and passing out from the back, and that's why he brought Andre Onana into the football club, it all starts to look a little bit more clearer than before. And for Ten Hag, his message gets put across. He's got good English speaking coaches next to him in Haak and Ruud van Nistelrooy now. Van Nistelrooy, like we've spoken about already, is a massive plus for Ten Hag and Manchester United. It really is. We've said it before, the plus points of him being there, the experience, the respect that he demands, and what he will demand from them players, and then just relaying the message. But if you're bringing in two players that were under the control and under the management of Ten Hag, three actually, if you brought in Mazraoui, De Ligt and Frenkie de Jong into Manchester United, then you would expect there never to be an excuse from Ten Hag ever again, because he has everything he needs. Absolutely everything. Maybe one more striker, but that's it. That's it. Officially, he will be the best backed manager since Sir Alex Ferguson, and given everything possible to make it work at this football club. That is 100% guaranteed. Honestly, I'm telling you now, I'll stand by it. You clip me up. If Ten Hag was given the option out of everyone who's available right now, he would pick Frenkie de Jong. He would. If Ashworth said to him, we can make it happen, he would drop everything else and bring him in. I'm sure he would. Like, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just look at the effort that he went to get him the first time. He's 27. He's still got it. He's a world-class player. He would go for Frenkie de Jong. Simple as that. That's just me. I wouldn't. I think we can go down a different direction. I do. And it will be most of the budget. Players sold to put towards Frenkie de Jong. I wouldn't put it past Frenkie de Jong being the only midfielder that comes in, and all the rest of our budget that we managed to save and sell players for would go to Frenkie. I still think he would go down there because he's got Collier and Casemiro in holding midfield. I do. That's just where I'm at anyway. But yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? If Liverpool signs Zubimendi, we got to get Frenkie to compete, says Mark Lambridge. He does give you that bit of swaz, doesn't he? Frenkie, he gives you that X factor. That's one thing he will give you. He's absolute full-on composure on the ball. And I remember something in a report from The Athletic regarding Sander Berge and why United were looking at him, and the profile of player and the metrics and everything that they look into in terms of what he's good at and what his stats are good at. Like, we looked at Sander Berge's stats all along in terms of recoveries and things like that. But one big thing that was brought up by The Athletic, and The Athletic get quite a lot of insight into Manchester United. So in the recruitment side of things and what players United are actually looking for, in The Athletic they picked up on one thing with Sander Berge, which was the pass completion rate from under pressure situations. It sounds like a mouthful, and it sounds like you're going into real detail on that, and maybe clutching at straws a bit, or splitting hairs, you could say. But these minor little gains are what INEOS have always bigged up and talked about. Under pressure, which means passing out from the back, high pressing situations against good teams. What is the composure of that player like? You put Frenkie de Jong in that situation, it's a win-win. Like, that is one thing that he is absolutely mustard at, and you can't ignore that. You can't. All of that chat, I'm bigging up Frenkie de Jong in the 2,000 strong vote poll that we've had. Thank you for that, guys. 2,000 votes on the poll. Still, 52% of you are saying yes, I would take Frenkie de Jong right now. No, 48%. Thanks for getting involved in that. I'm going to end that poll there. 2,000 votes, over 1,600 in the room with us, guys. We're at 535 likes. Let's see if we can get that over 600, guys, on one last big burst of likes. You're spot on, Adam. Sander Berge or Frenkie de Jong are deep line playmakers. They have got the quality for it. That's what Ten Hag wants. That's why we're looking at Sander Berge. People who ignore what Sander Berge, who Sander Berge has played for, and the issues that he's had in relegation and Sheffield United, Burnley. People who ignore that are the ones that know what Sander Berge is all about. It is one thing. The way I round Sander Berge up is, if you put Haaland into Burnley or Sheffield United side, do you feel like he would stop them being relegated? No, he wouldn't, because he won't be able to get the ball to him. There are world-class players in teams that haven't done well, but because they're not playing around better players all the time, it doesn't work and it doesn't show up for them. It doesn't look like they are that great player. And this is how United have approached windows before. I've seen they've just looked in the window and gone, oh, there's the one with a shiny little ring around it. Let's get that one. Never mind looking at everything else that's available and what actually might work for us. Let's go for the big shiny one. That looks the best. Perfect example, as some of you might not even notice, but Indiana Jones. It's a crazy one when he has to go and pick a cup. And everyone picks the shiny cups that make it look great, that look fantastic. And his character goes and picks the rusty old little crap one. And it turns out to be the right one. That's what it is. Like, the hidden gems are exactly that name because they're hidden. Like, the superstars and the Galacticos, they're the players that feel like they've already made it. Find the little gems and build them up is what I say. That's where I would be going with it anyway. But that is your update, guys. Thank you so much for getting involved. To the Super Chats, members and mods who have been through the chat helping out everyone's comments. Get your comments in below on the video, guys. I'll try and get back to as many of them as possible as well. Really appreciate you all being in on the chats. Big numbers again, guys. Thank you so much. Give the video a like on the way out. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel as well, guys. Please, you won't miss out on anything. And get involved in all of these. And the Holy Grail, yes, Liam. Everyone knows the scene I'm talking about. That's the one. Indiana Jones, legend, great film. Can't beat the 80s, can't beat it. Even though that one I think was the 90s. Yeah, it was. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I will see you back at 6:30. Unless something breaks in the middle, I'll be all over it. But keep an eye on the news, guys. We're going to get some here we go. Well, we've got here we go. We're going to get some confirmations and official announcements today, I feel. Medicals are going well. United turned down Hermoso. Are we really bidding for Frenkie de Jong? Get your comments in below. Let me know what you think of today's news so far. And I'll see you all at 6:30, everybody.